Today on Corporals Corner, we're going to establish a pace count, so stick around. Now, pace counting has been defined by several different people, several different ways. But put simply, it's a way to measure the distance that you have traveled. Now, this period of instruction right here, we're going to get the basics out of the way in the classroom setting, and then we're going to move out to the field for practical application. Pace counting involves two key factors. One is knowing how many paces you must take to cover a set distance, and that set distance can be in yards or meters. Number two, it establishes an accurate way of counting or keeping track of distance as you travel. Remember, there's 1,760 yards per mile and approximately 1,600 meters per mile. Welcome back. Now the real question is, how many paces do I have to take in order to cover a 100-meter distance? What I've done is I've chosen the softball field here because it's semi-flat and level. I set up a reflector, I'm going to tape off 100 meters, and we're going to walk it together. Getting an accurate pace count is quite simple. What I'm going to do is I'm going to step off with my left foot, and every single time my right foot touches the deck or ground, I'm going to count. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. Alright, now that we've marked off 100-meter distance and we've established how to accurately take a pace count, I'm going to use the gear that I normally carry in the field, which is my day bag and my harness. I'm going to walk the 100-meter distance, and I'm going to count my paces. Alright, my pace count came out to be 60, so what I want to do is I want to turn around and I want to head back the same direction and cover the same distance and count it once again. I want to add it and divide it by 2. Alright, that worked out pretty well. I had 60 both ways, so there was no need to add or divide by 2. You saw my notebook that I carry. It's very important. Always carry some type of notebook and a minimum of 2 pencils. Now these are mechanical pencils with number 9, and I've had no problem with these. However, they will fail. That's why I need to have 2. 2 is 1 and 1 is none. Once you've established your pace count for this type of terrain, in this case it's flat, always record your count. And always ensure you do this with the gear that you intend to carry. Now that you've established a pace count, you're going to need a way to keep track of that pace count or keep track of the distance that you have traveled. So there's several ways to do that. I'm going to show you a few. You can make notches on a stick. Each notch represents 100 meters traveled. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 500 meters traveled. You can put rocks or small stones inside your pocket. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've traveled 500 meters. Or you can use ranger beads, sometimes referred to as pacing beads. I've traveled 300 meters. Alright, I'm going to try and make this as simple as possible. Down and dirty, this is how Ranger beads work. This is considered the top, where this loop is right here. Both sets of beads start towards the top. For every 100 meters traveled, one bead is moved towards the bottom until the entire 900 meters has been reached. 100 meters traveled. 200 meters traveled. 300 meters traveled. And so on. 900 meters have been traveled. Once 1,000 meters has been reached, one of the beads from the top will move down, representing 1,000 meters, and the 900 meters will return to the top, and the process will start over. 1,000 meters, 1,100 meters, 1,200 meters, 1,300 meters, and so on, until you hit 1,900 meters. At 2,000, a bead slides down representing 2,000. Your 9 return to the top, and the process starts over. 2,100, 2,200, 2,300, and so on. Alright, this is actually perfect. We've already established a pace count for flat terrain. So what I want to do right now is I want to descend and I want to get a pace count. I'm going to turn around at the bottom and I'm going to ascend and get a pace count. You always want to get a pace count for every single terrain. That way you're always prepared. So stand by. Now, people say it gets easier with age. They lie. Remember, always record your count. And now that you have a pace count established for all three types of terrain, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to add them together and get an average. So what I've done here, taking my pace counts, 60 plus 72 plus 79 equals 211. Now I'm taking 211 and I'm going to divide it by 3. And it should come out 70.3, so we'll round it down. My pace count for the average of terrain that transitions from one to another, meaning uphill, downhill, flat, should be 70. Now that right there in a nutshell was a pace count. I have a homework assignment for you. What I want you to do is I want you to go ahead and establish a pace count on flat, ascending, and descending, add them together, and then get your average, meaning divide them by 3. And the reason why is because unless you're walking on a flat freeway all the time, or you're continuously ascending forever, or you're descending for infinity, you're going to have one terrain transition into another. So you're going to want to average out all of your pace counts. Now, one more important factor here. You're going to want to do this with the gear that you intend to carry, meaning your bug out bag, your pack, whatever you choose to carry in the field most of the time. If you want to do them for 10 different bags, please do it for 10 different bags, because your weight in the terrain will dictate your pace count. Dave Canterbury actually covers this in his new book, Bushcraft 101, on page 161. So, hope you all learned something today. With that, catch you all next time.